We are watching a series of videos on data visualization using Tableau. In this video, we are going to see the use of two important functionalities in Tableau called groups and sets. Let us first understand where groups can be useful. Let's say we are using a very commonly used dimension which we have used before, subcategory, and we want to plot the sales against subcategory, something that we have done many times before. Make this a bar chart and sort it. Now, let's say for some reason we want to see certain subcategories uh, which is not a part of a standard group, and we want to see them together. These subcategories are belonging to stationaries. For example, we know that products like binders, copiers, paper, supplies, art, envelope, label, uh, maybe fasteners, they can be grouped together as stationery. But the way the data has been presented to us and the way that the source data has been grouped, these do not belong to one group called stationery. Instead, they are broken down into different subcategories like binders or uh, paper or envelope. We can see them individually, but if we want to see them as a group of uh, products and we are calling them as stationery, we don't have any option to do that. This is the place where this concept of group helps. In this group, we are not changing the fundamental classification of the categories that is there in our source data. We are not changing how the categories and subcategories have been defined. However, for the purpose of visualization, we are creating a temporary super subcategory consisting of these subcategories of copiers and papers, etc., and creating another level of hierarchy between the category and the subcategory. That is the purpose of creating this group. And this can be very useful to make this hierarchy very dynamic. So let us try and do this. Let us remove this and we'll first create a group, and then we will come back to this chart and see how by creation of the group, this chart can be made very dynamic in the sense of classifying the products. We can create a group by clicking over here and going to create and group. And you see that all the subcategories are visible over here. We'll call this subcategory group as subcategory with stationery. So that's to differentiate between the original subcategory that we already have. And let us first identify the products that we want to classify as the subcategories that we want to classify as stationery. For example, copier, we can press Control and add envelope, fasteners, labels, papers, and maybe supplies. So these are the 6 subcategories we want to put inside a super subcategory, which we're calling as subcategory with stationery. We can just say apply, and now this subcategory has been formed. We can just say okay. You can see a new subcategory has been formed, a super subcategory, where this subcategory consists of the original subcategories plus the subcategories that we thought should be a part of stationery, and it has been brought down into that separate subcategory. If we want to add any new subcategory to it, we can do that easily. You can go to edit group, and let's say now we want to add art to the subcategory. You can just say add to, be able to do this. We did not apply the not okay. So actually the group did not get created. So we'll just do it again. We said copiers, envelopes, paper, fasteners, just say shift envelope, fasteners, paper, suppliers, fasteners, paper, supplies, yeah, labels. Okay. Uh, you need to press Control and add this. You have to click on this group. This is what we missed out last time. That's why we create. Click on this group, and now you see it has created a group. So we call this station. So now a temporary group has been created, which is stationery, and this consists of these subcategories like this. And now you apply this. It's okay. And now suppose I want to add any specific uh, subcategory which I might have missed out. You can just go to edit group, and let's say we want to add art. So you can just say click on art and add to stationery. Now it will be added. You can just apply this. If you want to remove anything, suppose I want to remove, let's say, fasteners or the copiers, I just remove from here. So we now have this subcategory uh, group which consists of stationaries. Now, first thing is that we want to bring this as a part of our original product hierarchy. So we'll drag this into the product hierarchy, and this should be placed on top of subcategory because this is a super subcategory. This is a level higher than the subcategory. So it should be put on top of subcategory. And now let us go back to our simple bar chart, which we have done many times. The sales over here, to make it, we'll make this a bar chart because we know that it's going to expand, and uh, we don't want to scroll right and left. We want to scroll up and down. So it's better to have a bar chart. And we also want to have the profit in the color. So also we have seen, done many times, made this red green diverging. Don't need this card. And now see what happens is if I uh, expand the category, it expands to a subcategory, but this time it shows stationery as a separate subcategory. And I can see how the products which I've grouped together as stationery, how do they appear in this in terms of sales and profit. If I expand further, now I'll see within stationery all the other subcategories that has been classified as stationery. And then of course I can go to the individual product. So in this way, what I've been able to do, I've been able to dynamically create my own groups in terms of the uh, the subcategories as per the requirement that is specific to the context. It may not necessarily have to be inbuilt in the original data where the specific categories and subcategories have been defined in certain manner, and while visualizing we may want to alter that a little bit. We'll name the sheet sales fit subcategory group. Remember to save your file before you exit.